Hello and welcome back to the most unexciting, uneventful channel on YouTube. I've been away. I act like someone cares, but they don't. I've been away because I've started a new job, so I haven't really had much time, and I make these videos for fun, so it's not really a priority in my life. But I have been thinking about something that I think needs to be covered more, and like the whole fitness niche and fitness influencer niche on YouTube especially. And that something is calorie deficits and how to tell when you've gone too far. I know that a lot of people in bodybuilding, they do tend to over restrict, and we do have a tendency to be too hard on ourselves. And I'm also not a stranger to this because I've done the bulk cut cycle many a times because I do bodybuild, believe it or not. Who can say whether there's something sort of there? Before I say anything, I'm not a professional of any kind. I'm not a registered specialist. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a personal trainer in training. So, this is all anecdotal evidence from my own experiences. But I'm going to go over 4 areas that you should really pay attention to when you're dieting or cutting to avoid getting into that metabolic hole and essentially just driving yourself into the ground. Because if you undereat for too long, yeah, your body will start shutting down, and that is just the truth of things. So number 1, something that you should look closely at before and during your diet is energy levels. So ideally, your food intake should match your energy expenditure. Again, this will vary on your lifestyle, what job you have. Do you sit a lot? Do you work in an office? Or are you like, I don't know, postman or something? So of course these factors will influence how much food you eat. And eventually, yeah, you will have to drop your calories because your body will adapt. So say you started on 2,000 calories and you've lost a bit of weight, plateaued, you're gonna have to drop it, then again and again and again. However, once you find that your energy is just not there, that's when you should maybe take a step back. And by not there, I mean, not like you've had one day when you want to like sleep in for a little bit longer or something. I mean, like every single day you are knackered. No matter how long you sleep, you start sleeping more, like you feel your body wanting to sleep more. By more, I mean like abnormal amounts. So 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours. You start going to bed at 7 p.m., Your body is trying to conserve energy. It's trying to shut down. When even the most mundane and easy of tasks, like, I don't know, going doing the dishes seems impossible. Getting up off the chair to go to the loo, you just can't be asked. And you think, oh, why am I being so lazy? Maybe you're not being lazy. Maybe you just genuinely don't have enough energy. When you start hitting those lows of energy, again, this could be, I don't freaking know what your body is like. Maybe it could be to an underlying micronutrient deficiency. Have some vitamin D, have some omega-3 oils or something, I don't know. But if everything you're doing seems right and you have a varied and healthy, balanced diet, but you're just not eating enough of it, maybe up your calories, or do a refeed week or something like that. Because ultimately, unless you're competing in a hardcore bodybuilding show, you don't need to put yourself through that. I'm sorry, you just don't. So area 2, which you should monitor carefully anyway, if you're, into aesthetics and bodybuilding. But number 2 is physical factors. So I've done this quite a few times in my life now, so I sort of know almost instantly what to look out for. But the thing with physical factors is that your body is dependent on so many things. So, again, as I said, it could be a micronutrient deficiency. You could be lacking iron, vitamin B, C, D, E, X, Y, Z. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're undereating. But generally, here are some signs that I found helped me to identify when I needed to refeed or up my calorie intake. So one is healing. So whenever your body has some sort of broken tissues, like a bruise or a cut or some sort of wound, it should heal at a normal pace, right? So say a bruise, should go away within, well, again, depends on the severity of it. If you have like an open wound, maybe go to the ER. don't just have a protein bar and be like, bro. But say you have a bruise on your shin, right? A small 2p size bruise. It should go away on its own within a couple of days, a week max, right? But once I start having bruises that are lasting like 2-3 weeks, and then, you know, they're like, what, this big when I bang my shin against something, that's when I know that my body is not repairing properly. In the same sense, like any sort of cut or graze or paper cut, your body should be able to heal it. And if it can't heal it in a decent amount of time, then maybe you're not giving your body the resources it needs to heal it. Right. This is also another big one. Your body stops producing tissues. So not only can't repair and produce tissues like skin and stuff like that, but it can't produce actual tissue like nails and hair. So my nails just stop growing. Like they just go off like that, and I don't have to cut them for months, which is convenient, but also kind of problematic. If you just happen to notice that your body's not creating the tissues that it should be creating, maybe consider upping your calories. And this is a huge one for women. But in terms of creating tissues, if your body has stopped creating menstrual tissues, sounds like I'm talking about pads, but like uterine lining, it has stopped creating it, and you're not bleeding every month like you're supposed to be, this is a big no-no. Medical amenorrhea is classed as having 3 missed periods, or having like 9 periods a year or something like that. And if you're usually fairly regular, but then your cycle just vanishes, I got some news for you, sister. This happened to me before. Once I either drop below a certain body fat level or exceed a certain calorie deficit, then my body's like, all right, well, fuck you. You're not having this. Because really, your body's designed to survive, and if needs be, it will try and save resources in any way it can, and it will switch off processes that it doesn't consider essential. For example, it's not really essential for your survival to bleed every month, but it's fucking helpful. It's not the period that's an indicator of health, right? It's not the period that makes you healthy, you know, and shows that you have a healthy functioning hormonal system. But in fact, it's the actual hormones themselves, the estrogen release. You need that monthly dose of estrogen for your bones, for your heart health, for your brain health, just for overall health. A period is just a sign of that health, right? And you need it. I know that in the moment, it seems really fucking convenient, you know? Oh, sweet, no more period. I can train, I don't need to use contraceptives, life's great, don't need pads, don't need tampons. I am no stranger to that mentality, and when I lost my period, I was like, oh, fucking thank you, Lord. But it's not good. 3, stalling progress. So if you're plateauing every week, or you're losing like, or if you're in a humongous deficit, right? You're eating like 1,600 calories and you're losing like 100 grams a week, then maybe it's time for a refeed. Stalling progress is a huge red flag. So this covers your gym results as well, your sports results. If you just can't seem to improve in any of your lifts, or you regress, that means, you know, it's like with the whole body creating tissue thing. Your body can't create muscle fibers out of thin air, yeah? It's not magic. It needs resources. It needs you to give your body the resources. 4 is psychological factors. Now, again, the human psyche is a weird fucking place, you know? And just like your body, it's dependent on even more factors than your body, because, you know, there's external stresses, could be other underlying factors, could be anything, absolutely anything. So if you're feeling stressed one day and you're like, oh no, my calories are too low, I must devour this 12-inch pizza, don't. However, if you have been noticing that you're not really yourself recently, then maybe it could be a sign of potential undereating. Because you see, whenever you're, to be fair, whenever you do anything in life, you raise your cortisol levels. Because, well, if you don't sleep enough, your cortisol levels are high. If you don't eat enough, your cortisol levels are high. Basically, whenever you place your body under any sort of stress, so that could be working out, diet, calorie deficit, etc., your cortisol levels spike. And if your cortisol levels are high all the freaking time, that's not good for you. You know, it's not good for your mental health, it's not good for your physical health. And if you're just noticing that you're more irritated than normal all the time, or on the other hand, if you just feel mentally run down all the time, like a big sign for me was I'll just burst out in tears at the gym. Not because the exercise was like insanely difficult, you know, but if you just feel yourself become overly emotional for no reason or overly sensitive, maybe it could be a sign that you're driving yourself too far, you're pushing yourself too hard. Because you know, dieting is hard, it's not easy, especially if you're really trying to lean out, like really get maybe below 15% for women, 10% for men. That shit is hard. That shit puts stress on your body. So the thing is, you have to assess all of these factors as a whole. So if you're constantly tired, crying at the gym, lost your period, and can't lift more than 20 kilos, then maybe you should start eating more. That's everything from me. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you found it at least a little bit helpful, even though I know nothing about nothing.